Hey guys, welcome to the All Sports Pass Podcast North. My name is Eli, I'm your host, and welcome back to another video. And hey, this is the last review and preview of the regular season. And I honestly can't believe it. It feels like yesterday I just made the first video for this season, but hey, it is what it is. Before we get into this video, you already know I gotta start off with the verse of the day. Today's verse comes from Proverbs 9:11, and it says, "For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased." And also, guys, before we get in this video, you'll like subscribe for more high school football content. And without further ado, let's begin. And also, I just thought I'd mention this, that in this video you will be seeing some of the playoff possibilities, as actually one of the games is actually being decided tomorrow. So let's see. All right, so first one we got Union County at Austin East, and I also expected this to happen, honestly, but with this win, Austin East likely has clinched a playoff spot. Now, when I say likely, I'll explain here in the next few minutes, but basically, these two teams aren't really losing anything unless, Scott can upset Austin East, which I will talk about here in a minute. But, yeah. All right, then I have West at Halls. This game went down to overtime, and I have to say, I really did not expect West to nearly lose in overtime. Like, I really did not expect that because, West came off a win against Anderson County, and we're gonna get to Anderson County here in a minute, but this was just crazy to me to see that. Now, Halls nearly pulled off the shock of all shocks by nearly making the West Rebels not even compete for the region championship. And yeah, but hey, it didn't happen, so West is still alive. So we'll talk about that here in a minute as well. And then Powell at McMinn County. This is expected. Powell's just a better team here, and McMinn County, of course, I don't really cover them, so I don't really have as much knowledge on them, really. Because like I say, I haven't really kept up with McMinn County this season, but let me just search them up real quick. And I'm gonna be honest, like I've heard of McMinn Central, but I honestly did not. I honestly forgot McMinn County existed sometimes. So yeah. Now, no disrespect. I'm just saying that sometimes I just forget like some towns or schools exist. And all right, so McMinn County is 5-5, and yeah, so I did kind of expect this to happen. Now I will be They're also gonna be mentioned here in shortly, but we'll mention that here in a minute. So yeah. All right, I have Heritage of Central, and basically the winner of this game pretty much, like Heritage needed to win this game in order to try to keep their playoff hopes alive, and unfortunately because of this loss to Central, Heritage has been eliminated from contention as they have played all their region opponents, which all those games ended in losses. So unfortunately, Heritage is going to have to try again next year in 4A because they actually dropped down to 4A. So we're going to see where Heritage is going to be. So yeah. And then this one here, honestly, I mentioned was a close contender for Game of the Week. And yeah, Carter at Fulton. And let me be honest, this game went down to the wire. Fulton came back down 21-7 at halftime to win this game 42-35 over Carter. And yeah, and we're also going to get to Fulton here in a minute. But yeah, and also, you know what? I think I'm going to do a sponsorship right now, actually, just to get it over with. And no, I don't mean any disrespect. I'm just saying because I got a lot of playoff stuff to talk about, so I wouldn't have time to really mention sponsorship. But yeah, so here's sponsorship for Carter. Bigs Only. It's an apparel brand with great prices. Go to bigsonly.com if you're interested in making an order. And yeah. And here was the game of the week, Anderson County at Gibbs. But first off, this segment is sponsored by two people. By PJ's Barbershop. and they're located at 3544 Neal Drive, Suite 101, Knoxville, Tennessee 37918. And call Pam at 865-548-0749. Schedule an appointment. Well, call or text Pam. I just realized I'd been saying call for a long time. And then call or text Jackie at 865-243-5291 to schedule an appointment. And then Sierra Lynn Photography. DM Sierra on Instagram to schedule a session. You can DM her on any of these accounts. They are, here's one, Sierra_343. You can DM her there, or you can DM SierraLynn.photos on Instagram, schedule a session. Thank you all for your continued support of All Sports Pass podcast. So basically this game here, I will say Gibbs had a strong defensive showing in the first half. And then unfortunately second half, just Anderson kind of just ran away with it. And now, of course, the thing for Gibbs, they made a few offensive mistakes in the game that unfortunately backfired on them. And what I mean by backfired is that AC, I think, scored on all of them. So, yeah, hey, if I'm Gibbs, and we're going to get to this in a second, but if I'm Gibbs, I got to put this mistake behind because AC won the region championship, but there is still a possibility to host. And that's what we're going to get into here in a minute. So, yeah. And all right, so here's some other scores for you. Greenback gets to win over Sunbright 38-8. Granger wins 35-19 over Cosby. Scott wins 42-8 over Pickett County, and this is a non-region game for Scott, and this is actually Scott's first win of the season. Northview Academy loses 21-56 to Greenville, and we're going to mention Greenville, Cherokee, and Northview here in a few. And Cherokee wins 42-23 over Volunteer. Coalfield wins 34-25 over Oliver Springs. And I actually watched that game on Rivalry Thursday, and that game was amazing. And Harriman wins 34-20 over Midway. All right, let's take a look here. And, yeah, so here's Week 11. And so this might be the longest slide of the season for me. So just bear with me. And first, we got Carter at Seymour. And this is actually unique because Seymour beat South Dole last time. No, never mind. Sorry. Let's rewind. Seymour actually beat South Dole, so that means they're in contention for a playoff spot because of a Carter loss to Fulton. And here, nope, that's right here. So basically, this is what we're seeing right here. That Region 2 plays Region 1. And as of now, for Knoxville Carter, if they win, then they get the 4th seed. But however, if they lose to Seymour gets the 4th seed. And the 4th seed will play either the winner of Greenville or Elizabethton. So, yeah, and the 2nd seed will play the 3rd seed, which is, of course, Cherokee. Like, this seed's already been decided. But we're going to be seeing, what all will happen here. Coming in, and we'll talk more about these games here in a second. Yeah. But anyway, for this game here, Seymour now, while they were able to get past South Dole, they need to win this game. And can they do it is the question. And now Carter, they fought to the end against Fulton. Unfortunately, the 3rd seed will not be theirs this year, as it was 3 years in a row. And, yeah, but hey, for Carter, one of their players on the interview I did a while back, they said the goal is just making the playoffs. And, yeah, but hey, I'm going to be honest. I think it's likely going to be a win for Carter, but anything can happen. But I'm going to give this one to Carter. So, yeah. They have Austin East at Scott. And so Scott is actually 1-8 as, of course, they get their first win over Pickett County. And let me go to 3A real quick here. Basically, right here, Alcoa wins, Austin East here, and I don't know why they were going to put Cherokee here because Cherokee's not even a 3A school, but Union County does play Cherokee. So basically what happens is that basically Scott just needs to win because if Scott does not win, then that means that they're out of the playoffs, and Austin East would be out of the playoffs. So, but however, Austin East would technically... Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm on the right line, yeah. So basically, Scott winning, they would need a Kingston win, and if Kingston wins over, Alcoa, which is highly unlikely, they're going to need to it's not going to matter pretty much. It's really no scenario, you know. But however, if they win and then Union County wins over Cherokee, then it's going to be not if Scott wins and Union County wins over Cherokee, it's going to be Union County getting the third seed and Scott getting the fourth seed. And Union County, another way they could get in is Alcoa wins, Scott wins, and Union County wins. That's what's going to get them. But however, I think it's going to be highly unlikely, and I think this is going to be right here. I think, like, regardless, right here, I think Austin East has. Hold on, I gotta do the math real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me divide that by 6 real quick. Actually, hold on. So Austin East has a 66% chance of making it, and yeah, sorry, I can't do math, guys. I completely suck. And but anyway, heading up here, you see Johnson County upsetting GP, and right here, Unicoi County and Johnson County. That game's for the region championship. That game will be played on Friday, and so because of that, the winner of this game gets the 1 seed. But however, should Unicoi County, should Unicoi County lose this game, then they're going to get the 3rd seed, meaning that they would have to travel. And so, of course, it looks like, the 3rd seed would be Kingston, would be playing Kingston, because I just think Alcoa is going to probably win the 10th straight 3A championship. And now this isn't the state championship, but here's the thing. Alcoa, they've been dominant all season, and they've only lost one game, which was to a 6A team. And but anyway, so the scenario is this, as you see on screen. If Johnson County wins, they get the 1 seed, but if Claiborne wins, they get the 4th seed. And if Johnson County wins, Pigeon Forge wins, it's going to be Johnson County at 1 and Pigeon Forge at 4. And if Claiborne wins and Unicoi County wins, it pretty much just flip-flops, but Johnson County would be the 2nd seed and Unicoi would be the 1st seed. And same thing for here if Unicoi County and Pigeon Forge wins. So that's really what we're really looking at here. And but I do think that Scott unfortunately think that, of course, that Union County game where they lost 30-29, I think if they won that game, it would have pretty much guaranteed them into the playoffs. But unfortunately, unless they can pull the upset, then Scott will unfortunately be losing this game, and Austin East will make the playoffs. So yeah, and also here, I'm going to be honest here. I was honestly contemplating this game to be the game of the week because this is for a region championship. But we'll explain why here in a minute. And I skipped a slide. Sorry. Central at Halls. This is a 3rd place runner-up, like 2nd runner-up, because this is a huge rivalry game, and it's also for a region. And let me go down here real quick. This is for the 3rd seed, pretty much. So basically, the winner of this game will get the 3rd seed, and the loser will get the 4th seed. So, now, Central's are struggling a little bit over the course of the season, but they've been able to make some improvements. But, however, I just simply think that, I'd think at this point, I'd think it's going to be Halls winning this one. So, I'm going to say this. I think Central will be playing Sevier County. Oh, hold on. Sevier County is actually undefeated, and with this, Central is 4-5, and I'm trying to hold on. Let me pull up Halls real quick, guys. Hey, I cover 8 schools, okay? So cut me some slack, all right? But however, hold on, it's still loading. There we go. Halls 6-3, and I just unfortunately do not think that Central can overcome. Unfortunately, so I'm going to give this win to them. And I'm looking at the wrong slide. So basically. So Sevier County, the winner will be playing Morristown West away, and the loser will be playing Sevier County. And Sevier County is actually undefeated, so it's really, it's really crazy. But hey, so fortunately, I do think that Hall's going to be winning the Battle of Black Oak Ridge once again, and so basically, that's what's going to happen. All right, I have West at Powell, and I'm going to be honest here. The reason why I said is because this is likely for the region championship. But however, I do think, I'm sorry, this is for the region championship. But however, the reason why I chose this one was for one reason. It was because I just think that, I tried to do a North and North school for game of the week. And also because West, just in my opinion, has not been as strong as I thought they would be. But however, they were able to beat Anderson County. But however, can they beat Powell is the question. And, Powell, of course, came close last season, but it was an overtime thriller. But now, of course, for West, this is a different West team from what we've seen the last 2 years. If West can win it, it's going to be interesting, but unfortunately, I think it's going to be Powell winning it. And so here's the playoff possibilities here. West wins, they're going to be playing Tennessee High or David Crockett. And but of course, if David Crockett, if Daniel Boone wins and David Crockett wins, it'll pretty much be David Crockett or Tennessee High. They'll play the loser. West or Powell will play the loser of Tennessee High and David Crockett, and the other and Powell and West will play the winner of David Crockett. I'm sorry. Let's rewind. So basically, Daniel Boone would need to win, and David Crockett would need to win in order to get the third seed. So basically, all other scenarios, it's likely going to be Tennessee and David Crockett. So yeah, so the loser of this game will likely be playing Tennessee High, and no, not the University of Tennessee. Yeah. And yeah, all right, here we go. Y'all wait for it. The last game of the week for regular season. Drum roll, please. Gibbs at Fulton. And here's the thing. The reason I say this is because this is actually a rivalry Thursday game. And because of that Fulton win against Carter, the winner of this game will play either we'll play Cherokee at home, but the loser will have to travel to the loser of Greenville and Elizabethton. And it's going to be interesting to see. Now, for Gibbs, of course, right here you see, as I said here earlier, Carter wins, they're going to get the fourth seed. So basically, and Anderson County's already locked in the region championship with the win over Gibbs. But for 2 and 3, that's what's going to be interesting because, basically none of these guys can actually get up to 2 or 3. And, yeah, what I mean by these guys, Carter and Seymour. So that's just what I'm saying. But I do think that, of course, for this, I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. It's going to be a shootout to the end. For Gibbs, you got to make sure that, I think for Gibbs, last week they let too many plays get away from him. And I do think, of course, that for Gibbs, they're going to have to, get down the field and score because playing at Fulton this time, it's going to be a different environment. And if Gibbs wants to host, they have to get by the Falcons. And yeah, so I think Gibbs, honestly, I think that this could be a win, but I don't know. So here's what I'm going to say. Toss up. And hey, this is actually the privilege of being on Rivalry Thursday. So we'll just have to wait and see. But hey, it is what it is. I'm sorry, not it is what it is. Sorry. It's going to be a great game, I think, and it's going to be a shootout between these two teams. And all right, that's all I got for y'all tonight. If y'all like this video, get a like, subscribe for more high school football content. Peace out, God bless, and good night.